Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to another live session this week. And yeah, we're on at a different time this week. Usually we're a little bit earlier. But yeah, we have a special guest today, and that's why, because she's based in Germany. So we had to change the time a little bit. Yeah, I'm Linda from ITTT. You've probably seen me before if you've watched our lives. And I'm here with Brit today. Hi, Brit.
Hi, thanks for having me and changing your time to meet my schedule.
Yeah, and thanks so much for getting up early. I know it's early in Germany right now.
Oh yeah, just had my coffee and I'm good to go.
Yeah, that's awesome. Where in Germany are you exactly?
So I'm based near Trier, which
Mm-hmm.
is along the border with Luxembourg, so very close to Luxembourg.
Ooh, that's cool. That's exciting. Have you been Luxembourg?
Yeah, I had one chance to go before all of the COVID shutdowns and lockdowns earlier
Lucky.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
Awesome.
beautiful place.
Yeah, I really want to go. It's so close to Germany. I was born and raised in Germany, so yeah. I really want to go to all like the neighboring countries.
Yeah, I feel like when you're from a place, you always think, oh, I have so much time to go see
Mhm.
them. And it's always last
Exactly. Yeah,
priority.
later. I'll go later.
Mhm.
Right. So I see we have some people watching already. Could you please, if you can see us and hear us, could you leave a comment where you're from, where you're watching from, and maybe also where you are in your TEFL journey? I'm always very curious to know. Are you currently taking a TEFL course? Are you planning to take a course? Are you already teaching abroad? Please let us know. That'd be really cool. And so, yeah, like I said, we have Brittany here today from The Life of Brit, and we're doing a TEFL talk, sort of a casual TEFL talk today about Brittany's really exciting career path after TEFL. It's really exciting, and I think a lot of people who also want to teach abroad or take a TEFL course are really going to be interested in your experience and what you can share with them. So please always drop your questions in the comment box. We are live on Facebook and we're also live on YouTube. So please don't hesitate. Yeah. Oh, someone's watching from Oman. Cool. Hi.
Oh, hello.
Thanks for watching. That's exciting. I haven't been to Oman yet. I hear it's really beautiful. I really want to go.
Yeah, me too. On my bucket list for sure.
Oh, yeah. Okay, then we have somebody from Australia. Cool. I've worked as an EAL, ESL, and TESOL teacher for 5 years. Cool. That's awesome. Also want to go to Australia. Haven't been yet. Everywhere is on my bucket list. But yeah.
Right.
Also, if you are listening to this episode as a podcast episode, thanks for downloading. We always turn these live events into podcast episodes. So if you've downloaded it and you're listening to us, thanks so much for downloading. And for anyone who's interested, who's into podcasts, I love listening to podcasts. You can find us on iTunes, on Spotify, Google, podcasts, all the major sites. And if you type in ITTT, it'll show up. It's called the TEFL and TESOL podcast by ITTT, and you can find it there. I'll also drop a link later. But yeah, and also please don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss another live. We go live every week, actually every Friday. Sometimes the time might change or the day might change, but yeah, that's the plan. And we always talk about, everything TEFL and teaching related, and sometimes we have on cool guests like today. Yeah, so cool. So Brittany prepared some slides that we can also put into, with a lot of amazing pictures. So let's look at that. And yeah, Brittany.
Yeah, so I guess I'll just start with introducing myself. So my name's Brittany, or Brit for short, and I got my TEFL certificate at the end of 2016 while I was working full time, and then applied to teach English in Korea. And that kind of jump-started this whole exciting adventure for me where I found a passion for travel blogging. I got to travel around Asia. I started freelance writing to where I am now, which is a grad student in Germany. So It's been a very exciting adventure.
Yeah. Why did you pick South Korea? Is there a reason or?
Yeah, honestly, the perks were just too good to pass up in South Korea. I had my sights set on Asia for sure. So I was looking at the best places to teach in Asia because I'd never been at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, in Korea, they just pay so well.
Yeah. That's why a lot of people go to Korea for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Oh yeah, and your website, right?
Oh yeah, and I have a website.
You can check it out.
Yeah, where I actually have written a lot about my experiences in South Korea as a TEFL teacher, traveling solo, and it's lifeofbrit.com if you want to check it out. And I am very happy to reach out or have conversations with fellow TEFL teachers or aspiring travelers with any questions you guys may have. So feel free to send me an email or a DM.
Awesome. And can I ask you about the picture? Where was that taken? That looks really cool.
Oh yeah, that was in India, actually.
Oh wow.
So after I finished my last contract in Korea, I went on a backpacking trip throughout Asia and spent 2 months in India, which was just an incredible experience, all paid for by my savings I was able to scrimp together teaching in Korea. And yeah, this is in Rajasthan.
Oh, nice. That looks really nice. Awesome. Okay, cool.
Okay, so why get TEFL certified? I have a lot of people asking me if it's worth it or what you can do with the TEFL. So for me personally, I got TEFL certified because I was a little bit unhappy with where I was at my job. It wasn't really my passion. I had worked in marketing beforehand, and I wasn't sure if that was really my path. But I was always dreaming of traveling, but I had student loans and I was kind of living paycheck to paycheck. So travel seemed really impossible for me. And I started researching just how can I travel abroad while earning an income, so I can pay down my loans and pay for travel and still have a good quality of life. And that's kind of where TEFL came in. I found TEFL and immediately became interested in, it's just such a great opportunity. It takes English speakers and places them all over the world in a job where you can learn about a new culture, earn an income, and travel around any region of the world.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree. For me too. I always loved traveling. And so teaching English abroad is such a great way. And then especially in a country like Korea where you get, pretty good salary and all the perks that you mentioned, I think. Yeah.
And the cost of living by American standards, it was just, I don't know, my money went further than it did at home. And it just was.
Cool. Did you have any teaching experience before you went?
No, I did not. I mean, I did have some volunteer experience with young children, but I was going to school for speech therapy and when I was in college. And then after that, I had to go to grad school if I wanted to continue speech therapy, and I wasn't ready for more school or for more loans. So I just nabbed the first job I could find, which was marketing. So I didn't come from a teaching background at all.
Right. Okay. Do you think your TEFL course helped you kind of gain more confidence or, know what you're doing in the classroom, that sort of stuff?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I was so terrified of getting up in front of, just the thought of getting up in front of a classroom of children. I mean, they are children, but children are also extremely honest and lively, and they'll just say whatever.
Yeah, that's so true. It's intimidating no matter, if they're adults or kids or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So the TEFL course really helped teach me, different classroom management skills and how to relate to kids and keep them focused. And it was really valuable.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so some perks of online TEFL. There are many different TEFLs you can take. You can go into an in-person class that's usually about 4 weeks, or you can do it online. For me, I did an online TEFL. I found it the most convenient because I was able to get TEFL certified on my own time. So I actually got my TEFL while I was still working full-time. which was nice. I could keep earning an income, and I wasn't totally sure yet what I wanted to do with that TEFL afterwards. So it gave me the time to think on it. It was affordable. Online TEFL courses are generally a fraction of the cost than in-person, which in-person are still great. They're really, really good. If you have the time to devote in the money, it's obviously super valuable to have physical in-classroom experience. But for those of us who maybe don't have that opportunity or that privilege, yeah, the affordability of online TEFL is very good. I also appreciated that there was no travel required for class. I'm from a smallish town in Wisconsin, and I wasn't really near any TEFL classes. You know, if you have to take an in-person class, you have to go to a big city, like maybe Chicago was the nearest one, which is 2 hours away, or, you know, and that was just something too inconvenient for me to do. And yeah, and it also gives you more time to decide where to teach. So I was between teaching in Korea, Japan, and Taiwan. And so when I was getting my TEFL, the ITT blog has a lot of great resources sharing all the different experiences of where you can teach. So it just gave me more time to sift through and decide where was right for me.
Yeah, cool. And why did you decide you want to teach English in Asia? What was like so appealing about Asia to you?
As an American, most Americans travel to Europe or to Mexico or to South America. So for me, maybe it sounds silly, but Asia was this place where I didn't know anybody who had ever been. I'd never been, and it just looked so beautiful, so diverse and so vibrant. And I had studied abroad in Copenhagen in college for a year. So I'd already kind of seen a lot of Europe, and yeah, it just made sense to me. Okay, Asia is the next place I'd like to go.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Yeah, it was actually kind of similar for me in terms of the online TEFL. I was also working full-time at the time, and I took the course, and I also just loved the flexibility. Yeah. How
so
long
nice.
did it take you to complete the course?
I think it took me a little less than 3 months.
Yeah, I think me too, similar. Yeah.
Yeah,
You have up to 6 months to complete the course with ITTT. But yeah, most people, like me and Brit, we completed it much faster. And you can even complete it faster, right? Know people, they complete it in like a month or even a few weeks, but they're probably not working.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's really great for anyone. If you're working full-time, you're not working at all, anyone can take an online TEFL course and get certified. All right, cool. What about your TEFL interview when you interviewed for Korea? How was that like?
Yeah, so it was scary, but I'm trying to think back on it because it was a little bit of time ago. So I applied with EPIC, the EPIC program.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, which is the public school for anyone who doesn't know. And they do a Skype interview with you when you're in your home country. And I just remember my interviewer being very straightforward, very just, this is what your application says. Can you confirm, you know, what are your thoughts on classroom management? Like, how do you manage a classroom? So having to rely on those techniques I learned in my TEFL course. Yeah.
Was it a Korean interviewee or?
No, it was actually another, I think it was a British person who must have been working for the DMOE, the Department of Education.
Cool. Okay, nice. All right. And then, so you got your TEFL, and then you went to Korea.
Yeah, and then I went to Korea. So just to give a brief overview of teaching in Korea, you can choose public or private schools. I went public just because with a public school, it's a normal 8 to 5 day. So you're working, you know, just the normal work day. And they do provide such good perks. It's very hard to pass up. So the public schools in Korea, you get a fantastic salary. You know, it was less than I was earning in America, but it went further because of the cost of living was much more affordable. You get insurance with the public school job in Korea. You get a pension. You get free housing, like a free furnished apartment. So that means you're not spending money on rent. good vacation time. So I believe right now it's 26 days of vacation with Korea's public schools, plus I believe it's 18 national holidays. So a lot of time off in Korea if you time it right. I just really appreciated how it was a good work-life balance. You hear of some schools in other places where you don't get as much vacation time, or they expect you to work long, late hours. So for me, that was a cultural aspect of life and working in Korea that I appreciated. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe, was it hard to get into EPIC? Could you talk a little bit more about EPIC, the program?
Yeah. So it's hard to know how competitive EPIC is because they are quite tight-lipped on, they don't really say like how many people apply and how many people they accept, at least not that I've seen. Maybe they do, but the application process is a little bit intense. They do ask you to fill out a ton of paperwork. You have to have a clean background check. You have to have a degree, a college degree. You have to have a TEFL, and then you have to create a sample lesson plan for them to check over. And do an interview, and then you have to come to Korea and pass a drug test and a health screening. So,
Right. What about all the documents you need? You need like a criminal background check and all that stuff.
Yeah. So as an American, I had to get like a federal background check, which is from the FBI. So depending on your country, you have to go to the federal government and get from your country's main government, a background check showing you're clear. A copy of your degree. You have to get it officially certified. Your TEFL certificate. I'm trying to think. Oh, I think I had to send a resume. Yeah, and you have to sign a bunch of waivers. When I applied, at least, that were like, I don't have any tattoos that are visible.
Oh, really?
You have to talk about your piercings. So Korea is still a little bit conservative, or at the time they were.
Yeah. Right. Okay. While you were there, so how long were you in Korea for?
I was there for 2 years, so 2 contracts.
Okay, and always EPIC.
Always EPIC, yeah. Same school. This was actually my school, the picture here.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I worked at an elementary school. Yeah, in Daegu. And I actually had 2 schools. So I had one main big school that I was at 4 days a week, and a smaller, like mountain rural school that was about a 30-minute bus ride up the street. It was very small. I only had maybe 8 students in a class at a time, versus at this school, I had, I think, 35 students in a class.
Different kind of teaching experience. I actually have a friend, and she's also in the EPIC program, and she also has like one main school and 2 side schools or something in the countryside. So that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
you have like different schools to work at EPIC. That's kind of cool.
It's pretty common, especially when you're kind of on the outskirts of the city. So that's where I was living. And they do actually give you a little bit of a bonus if you have more than one school. I think it's an extra 100,000 won or $100 a month for national schools. So a little bit of a perk. And I enjoyed it. It mixed up my weeks, didn't feel so monotonous doing the same or seeing the same kids every day. So it was cool.
Cool. Yeah, I also taught my first year in Korea, but I taught at a private school. So the experience was quite different from the public school.
Yeah.
So we had really long hours, actually. And my school was like, in the morning you taught kindergartners, and then in the afternoon the elementary kids came in. And so that was really fun. I really liked the kindergarten kids for sure. But we were always kind of jealous of the public school teachers because they had like more time off and like not as many teaching hours and stuff like that. So
did you have to work weekends? Oh, sorry.
No, thank God. No.
Okay. Because
sometimes we had to come in if like, for example, if like Monday was like the parents were coming in on Monday or something, then we had to come like on the weekends and like clean our classrooms and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was like, not so great, but yeah. So that's something to think about, right? For people who want to come to Korea, what kind of school you want to choose. It's different.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah. Cool. And because you said great vacation time, did you take a lot of trips like abroad while you were in Korea as well?
Yeah, so the way the vacation time works in Korea, I think traditionally in Western countries, teachers get the entire summer vacation off or winter vacation off. But in Korea, actually, you are working through those vacations, but those school breaks are when you're allowed to take your vacation days. So you do have to kind of plan. You only have those 2 short periods to take your vacation, but during that time, I was able to travel. I think I traveled every school break. I went to places like Indonesia. I got to see Bali, which is beautiful. I went to Japan and the Philippines, Taiwan, Sri Lanka, and many trips throughout just South Korea as well, because South Korea has so many beautiful landscapes and places to see. So a lot of travel opportunity.
Cool. Yeah, I think you have some pictures for us, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so here's just a snapshot, I guess, of my time in Korea. The upper photo of me sitting with kind of the beautiful temple building was taken in Seoul, I believe at the Gyeongbokgung Palace.
Yeah, I think it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, that was actually taken one of my first weekend trips in Seoul. So it was really exciting to see the traditional Korean temples. Photo next to it was taken at the Mud Festival. So there's a Mud Festival in Korea every year where you go and you drink beer and soju and you throw mud at each other.
That's awesome.
Have you been to the Mud Festival?
No, I actually haven't. No.
Is
it fun?
Yes, it's fun, but it's just hectic.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to do it, right? You have to do it at least once. Yeah.
It's an experience for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and those are all the friends that a few of my good friends from Korea. So when you are a teacher abroad, the expat scene is just phenomenal, and everybody even if they're from a different country, everybody is in the same boat as you, and that they're in a new place and they're feeling a little lost, feeling the same culture shock as you probably are. So it's also just a great opportunity to meet new people and make lifelong friends. Like a lot of these people, I haven't seen them in person in maybe a year or 2, but we still keep in touch and are such good friends.
That's awesome. Cool. And you went hiking, I see.
Yeah, so I'm really into hiking in Korea.
Really? Oh, good. Then Korea is perfect, or was perfect for you.
Yeah, Korea's national pastime is hiking. So perfect place for me. But the corner picture with me in the pink flowers, that's a really beautiful spring festival that happens near Daegu, where just the entire mountainside blooms with azaleas, and it's just like this bright pink color. And on the opposite corner is a photo of me in Seoraksan National Park, which is just breathtaking. I can't even describe how beautiful it is. Yeah. And then a lot of city trips as well. So in the middle, the Rainbow Village in Busan with me in the yellow sweater, and having a cheeky rooftop photo in Seoul.
That looked really scary. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I don't recommend.
Yeah. Cool. And doesn't like the epic journey always start kind of in Seoul with like an orientation and stuff?
Yeah, so it actually depends where you're placed in Korea. So because my placement was in Daegu, which is a city in the center of the country, my orientation was actually in Busan.
Okay.
Which was another thing that drew me actually to Korea, was just how the EPIC program, they really hold your hand throughout your process into moving into Korea. So they pay for your airfare, or they reimburse you for the cost of your airfare. And when I arrived, they picked me up at the airport.
Oh,
and
wow.
they took me to the orientation, where I had room and board for 10 days, and they immediately started teaching us, it was almost like another mini TEFL course, but from their perspective, and giving you cultural tips about living in Korea, and even a little mini Korean lesson.
Oh,
So
wow, that's cool.
yeah, it was so nice. It made my transition to Korea so relaxed, like so stress-free. And I had a friend who was teaching in Spain, and she had to do the whole process on her own. Like, nobody picked her up, nobody. And I just remember her being so stressed and frazzled, and thinking, wow, it's so different from Korea.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's another great perk when coming to Korea, for sure. Or of the EPIC program.
Yeah, it's just, especially if you're new to the country. I mean, anytime you go to any new country, it's overwhelming. So just to have that additional support was very valuable.
For sure. And you probably already made some friends during the orientation. That's also really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, great opportunity. Cool. All right.
Yeah, more pictures. So kind of like we talked about, I had a lot of opportunity to travel outside of Korea while I was living and teaching in Korea. So I got to go to Bali, which is the top corner of me standing between the temple gates. And that was my first, actually, so I'm a big solo traveler, and that was my first big solo trip in Asia.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, and it was a little scary, but Bali is actually a super great place to start. It's a little bit touristy, but there's plenty of backpackers to befriend, and I actually made friends with 2 girls who we pretty much traveled with the whole rest of my time there, which was lovely.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I went to Bali. The photo next to that is in Laos, which I actually went as part of that long 6-month backpacking trip after I finished my teaching in Korea. Thailand and Malaysia, Philippines, and then Vietnam in the red and yellow, with the red background and yellow dress.
Yeah, I've been there. It's beautiful.
Yeah, Vietnam was one of my favorite places, I think. Super beautiful.
What do you think was your best part about teaching and living in Korea? If you had to pick, like.
That's such a hard question. Honestly, it was just such a carefree lifestyle for me. I was making more than enough money to cover my living expenses and my student loans, and I could afford travel. And, coming from a really stressful job at home that often I took home with me, the teaching in Korea, you don't take home with you. You can get all your work done at the office. And actually, you only teach, I believe, 22 teaching class hours with the EPIC program. So that left 18 hours of lesson planning. So more than enough time to get your stuff done and more, actually. I mean, that's why I started travel blogging, because I had so much free time at work.
Right.
Yeah, just the carefree lifestyle and travel for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, so what TEFL helped me achieve, we sort of already talked about a lot of this stuff, but I taught English in Korea. I would not have been able to do that without a TEFL. That's a requirement. And after teaching in Korea, I actually taught in Vietnam for a summer. So I finished my Korea contract in January or February, I believe, and then traveled for a few months, and then moved to Vietnam that June and started a 2-month summer camp there, which was really incredible. I was able to get a job at an international school and live in Ho Chi Minh City for 2 months.
Oh, wow. Was that hard to find, that opportunity? That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I got a little bit lucky in that I did a lot of Googling, and I happened to just stumble, after going deep in the internet, I found a job posting. Yeah. And then it just so happened that I knew somebody who taught at that school, which sounds crazy, and they were able to kind of give me a good word. And I'm not sure if that helped or not, but I got an interview, and
yeah. But it also was advertised on the internet, right?
Yes, it was advertised on the school's website. So if you have any aspirations to teach in Vietnam, honestly, the best thing to do is just move to Vietnam. I know it sounds really scary, but just move there and pass out your resumes. That tends to work best. But also just search international schools in Hanoi or international schools in Ho Chi Minh and just find an email contact and email them. I did that for a few different schools before, like, finally I kind of found the one that worked for me.
Yeah, that's a really good tip, because we always hear like international schools have such high requirements for their teachers. You need to be an actual teacher, have a teaching license from back home, and like all that stuff. So that's really cool that you found a good position like that. That's awesome.
Nice. Got a little lucky, I think, but yeah. I think it helped too that I had those 2 years experience already as an English teacher. So I come with a nice resume in that regard. But
yeah, cool. Yeah. Nice.
And then, after teaching in Vietnam, it was kind of a transitional. Vietnam was coming to an end, and I still had a few months backpacking left planned, and I was running a little bit low on money, and I wanted to investigate teaching English online, which I think really became super common a couple years ago. Maybe as I was ending my time in Korea is when I started hearing about it. So I applied to Palfish and started teaching online with Palfish, which is a super, super easy way to make I know a lot of people do make a full-time income. For me, I used it more supplementary. So especially as an American, the time zone difference isn't super great for teaching, because you're teaching Chinese students who are after school, which ends up being very early morning in America.
Right.
Yeah, but I taught English online actually all this past year when COVID hit, and finding
that was good timing.
Finding employment was hard, and also having to work at home. So if anybody has any questions about that, I've been writing a lot about teaching English online the past few months.
Cool. How is teaching in Korea different compared to Vietnam? Did you notice any differences in like the students, or just like the atmosphere at the school, or something like that?
Well, so one main thing is that I did teach just like a summer camp with kindergarten kids, versus in Korea, I was teaching a public school curriculum for like elementary school, like third grade to 6th grade. But Vietnam, compared to Korea, is very laid back. Korea is very bureaucratic. They have strict rules. You have to follow the rules, a lot of paperwork. Teachers are a little bit more polite and prim and proper. And in Vietnam, it's just a little bit more lax, and like I didn't really have any guidance necessarily for what to do in my summer camp. Maybe they would tell me the main overarching topic, but then I had the freedom to create the lesson as I wanted it. Versus in Korea, they have a textbook that you do the lesson based on the textbook, and then you can maybe add one extra activity after that.
Right. Cool. What about the students? Was there like a difference between Korean students and Vietnamese students?
I think Korean students, they are tired a lot because they go to so much school.
Yeah.
And they're very K-pop they're very into K-pop. Vietnamese students seemed a little bit more lively. Maybe they didn't seem, and also they were kindergartners. I should reiterate. So maybe that's being young.
Cool.
Yeah, both were different and really lovely in their own way. It's hard to fully explain.
Right. How was the transition from teaching like at a school and like actual children and then to online? How was that?
It's really weird actually, because you're so used to, like, when a child isn't fully understanding what you're saying, when you're there in person with them, you have so many more opportunities to like use props or other ways of getting the meaning across. But when you're teaching English online, all you have is just the screen and you and maybe your hands, and then whatever prop you have immediately in front of you, which you probably don't have
Yeah.
access to so many. So it was a little bit of a weird transition. It's also different in that a lot of teaching online platforms are just one-to-one with a student versus in person, it's with a whole entire class. So in a way, it's also almost better. You have more time to get to know an individual student, get to know what they struggle with and what they need help with and how they learn best versus you just, in like when I was in Korea and I had a class of 35 kids, I just never had the chance to fully do that because it's just a
Yeah.
lot, a lot going on.
Yeah, that's true. Cool. And how was the process kind of getting into teaching online, like with Palfish or just like in general? Was that difficult, or what are the requirements and stuff like that?
Yeah, so for teaching English online, the requirements are pretty similar. Depending on the platform, some require a college degree and some do not. But most everyone does require a TEFL. So you do at the very minimum have to have a TEFL. Some people prefer seeing teaching experience, and some companies, they don't care as long as you have the TEFL and you can prove you have a clean background and whatnot. So for Palfish, you fill out a profile, you sign up, I believe, with your phone number, fill out a profile with your name, a bio, what qualifications you do have. You have to upload photos of your qualifications as proof. And then you normally have to do a recorded interview, which is often a lesson demo. So they'll show you one of their lessons and you have maybe 10 to 15 minutes to record how you would teach it. And you have to make sure you use lots of TPR, which is
like on the spot.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can book a date.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can do a little bit of prep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you book as soon as you fill out and submit all your information and your documents, then they let you choose a date and a time.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's tons of YouTube resources. That's what I relied on for how to best do these lesson demos, because they don't really tell you a lot about it from the company themselves. They're just like, okay, do this lesson demo. Good luck, and we'll let you know. So YouTube for sure.
What are some things you have to watch out for then when you do the demo? What are like some specific things that it's like, don't do that or do that, or
avoid? I have a problem with I say okay a lot or filler words. So I say like a lot. They don't want that. They don't want to teach.
I think everyone does that though. That's hard.
I know, it is hard. So just for 10 minutes, don't say okay, like.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. And they want you to be really expressive. So very over the top, happy, and a little bit of baby talk, which can feel super weird, but that's what they want.
That's what
They want to see props. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I have flashcards. If you just have like one stuffed animal toy to get the kids' attention, that works as well. So.
Yeah, cool. And you were saying on Palfish you teach Chinese students?
Yes, so Palfish is based out of China and is primarily Chinese students. I think they do have up to high school age students, but most of my regulars are from elementary level.
And can you decide how many hours you want to teach, or do they say like you have to teach that many hours?
Yeah, so Palfish is super flexible. This is one of the things I liked most about them is they do not have any minimum requirements. Some online teaching companies want to see, X amount hours minimum a week. versus PALFish. I do believe they have some technicality of like maybe 7 hours in a month, but I've gone a month before without teaching and it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have a booking system where you can just do it on your phone. You just pick which days and which time slots you'd like to teach in. You open them up and students can book them if they'd like. And you get a notification when it's booked and you just show up. And lessons are 25 minutes and you can book in 30-minute increments. So it's pretty structured and pretty easy to set your own schedule and then, close it if something comes up.
Yeah, cool. But they give you all the teaching materials, right? You don't have to actually like make any lesson plans or stuff.
Yep, they provide all the lesson materials. I mean, it's honestly, you just show up. You do have to wear a blue t-shirt and have, a background, like a clean background.
Blue t-shirt?
Yeah, with PALFish, you have to wear a blue t-shirt.
Is it like, do they send you a t-shirt or is this your t-shirt and it has to be blue?
Yeah, you just buy a blue t-shirt.
That's awesome.
I think VIP Kid has an orange t-shirt, so like everybody has. I don't know.
Cool. Okay, cool. All right, then tell us a little bit more about your travel blogging.
Yeah, so when I first moved to Korea, I've always had a bit of a passion for writing and for photography, and I thought, oh, I should try this travel blogging thing that's, blowing up right now. So I started I created a website and started writing travel guides about my experience teaching in Korea, specifically Daegu, which is, it's a big city, maybe not by Korean standards. I think it's like 2.5 million people though, and there's a big expat scene there. And I found a lot of success writing about Daegu because there are so many expats there, but there was hardly any information on the internet about Daegu in English. So I had a lot of fun just like sharing guides about how to teach an epic, about what to see and do in Daegu, what to see and do in Korea, and it just grew to now I share about all of my travel adventures as well as tips for general teaching English online or teaching English abroad.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, I love that. Travel blogs or blogs in general are just a great resource. It's because it's like really from a real person who really had that experience. So yeah, I think travel blogs are a great resource for anyone who wants to, travel or go abroad, right?
Yeah, more authentic. Yeah, it feels more authentic,
right.
Perspective.
Yeah. Great. Okay. And then you also got into freelance writing?
Yeah. So travel blogging was just a hobby at first, and it slowly grew into something a little bit more where I could earn a little bit of an income, not a lot, but a little. And then after I came home from my big travel excursion in Asia, I started freelance writing for a few people. Like I started off writing for a friend and then applying for one-off job ads, and I started earning an income freelance writing, which wouldn't have been possible without my travel blog because that essentially was my portfolio to show other people, my writing abilities and my skills and my ability to rank on search engines. That's important marketing aspect.
Cool. And now you are in Germany.
Yeah, now I'm in grad school in Germany, going to school for English literature and media, hopefully progress with the writing once I graduate. And honestly, I do think my TEFL gave me that boost on my resume that maybe I would have been missing beforehand since my bachelor's is not in literature. So I think having that TEFL degree in English and that linguistics, you do learn a little bit about the fundamentals of the English language. Gave me the boost my application needed.
All right, cool. Actually, let me pop that up. There's a question about PALFish.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. So do you offer help for people wanting to join Palfish as a referral coach? Do you know anything about the referral coach, Britt?
Yeah, so actually I do have I have helped other people. So I have a few guides, and if you list me as your referral coach or your referral teacher, I get notified that you signed up, and then I message you and just say, hey, welcome to Palfish. If you have any questions, let me know. And I do help people along with their interview process for any questions they may have. So if you'd like, I can try to help you. So send me a DM and I can let you know. And yeah,
Yeah. How can they reach you? What's the best way to reach you?
Maybe finding me on Instagram. I think my username has my Instagram handle. Otherwise, you can email me. My email is brittany@lifeofbrit.com. Yeah, but a DM on any of my socials is also fine.
Cool. All right. And she says, Megan says, thanks.
Yeah, I look forward to hearing from you.
Awesome. Okay. All right, then. Do you have any plan for after grad school yet? Are you going to get back into teaching, or it's just open in the air for now?
It's very open in the air.
Yeah.
Especially with the way the world is right now and COVID. I have no idea. But I am very open to teaching again. I did have a mini dream to go to the Gulf Arab states, maybe Dubai, to teach for a little bit, but we'll see.
That's where the good salaries are.
Yeah, very good salary, and it's just another part of the world I haven't seen yet. So.
Right. Yeah. Awesome. That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
Cool. And yeah, so you also have a 20% off code for ITTT TEFL courses.
Yeah, so if anyone is in need of a TEFL course, you can save 20% using my coupon code. And yeah, it's super
I'm going to share it in the comments. So wait, I'm going to post it in the comments, the link, the full link. So then, okay, it should show up now. So then if you're interested, you can just click the link and then apply and you get 20% off. Any TEFL course, any of them. Cool. All right. Yay.
All right, yeah. So does anyone have any questions for me?
And here's your Instagram handle again.
Oh yeah, this is my Insta handle.
Right here.
Yeah, and my website.
Awesome. Oh, and where was that picture taken? That looks amazing.
Oh, this is also in India,
Wow.
in the northern part, in the Himalayan mountains.
Oh, nice. Did you travel to India alone?
No.
Yeah.
I do predominantly travel solo, but the trip to India, I was with 3 other friends. So felt a little bit more comfortable going to India with a group.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those locations, maybe you have to be a little bit more careful, especially as a woman.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the north it was less chaotic, but places like Delhi and Mumbai were very chaotic. And I felt much more comfortable, with a group.
Okay, cool. We have another one from Megan. She said she screenshotted your IG handle. She'll be in touch.
Oh, yay! I look forward to hearing from you.
Awesome. Cool. And then, yeah, I just also want to mention if anyone has any other questions like about TEFL and about ITTT and our TEFL course options in general, we have a very big FAQ section. And I'm going to also share the link real quick. So you'll find a lot of answers there as well. And I think on Brit's blog also, a lot of answers to teaching questions and stuff like that. And we also have a ITTT blog. Let me share that link as well. Got that done. All the links shared. Good. All right. Awesome. Okay. Well, this was really great. And I think very helpful for people who want to follow your footsteps. This was, I think, really impressive. And so thanks so much for your time.
Well, thank you for listening to my story. I'm always happy to share because I just know I came from a place before all my travel adventures where I just felt travel was too expensive and impossible for me to ever be able to afford, especially with student loans, and I was making an entry-level salary. So just hearing that other people make it happen with not a whole bunch of means is, yeah, a little inspirational, I think. So
yeah, definitely. Super inspirational. Totally. That's, you take a TEFL course and that's where it can lead you. So that's really awesome.
yeah, I agree.
Okay, so this video will be available on our Facebook page and YouTube channel even after the live ends. So you can always rewatch it if you didn't catch it from the beginning. Don't forget to check out that 20% discount code.
Yes.
And yeah, don't forget to follow Brittany and check out her blog. And yeah, like and follow ITTT. And then I'll see you all hopefully next week in another live session. And maybe we'll see Brit again too. All right, awesome. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.